First of all, I'd like to say that this is a projection into matter. And nobody is actually real. And you only see mirrors. Now, why do I say that? You know, the Matrix. Is Neo actually able to free up humans? Or is Neo actually only there to stabilize the Matrix? So that's the topic of today. And that's basically the dilemma with security and freedom. That's basically only the life and the balance that you rise through, because that's the challenge. And the masters are always watching, and they don't say something when you go through your darkest hours. So this is why I tell this fairy tale, that story, where I'm like, hey, sun gazing, carry enough light so you can go into the dark and you survive over there. Because if you only see projections of yourself into matter, when you only see that what occurs is, you know, you're like, is this even real? So, and this whole thing also, you know, with the social scoring, the phones that we carry with us. So, how do you behave? How do you act in this theater game? How do you play your game? See, what kind of laws do you follow? See, and this is where, above all these social laws, there is a next level which might be called magic or spirit. And this is connected to your imagination. So the more you can imagine something, the more it would actually occur into matter. Why is that? Now, if we would talk about Shivamukalpa, and that there is the component which is called dimethyltryptamine in your own bladder, so in your own bubble, right? So if you would like to get out of your own bubble, you finally see that it's all the same thing. And this is basically when the journey starts, when you know that, hey, this is why we have these frameworks. This is why we have rules and regulations. Because actually they are, if you know the blue, red, white, black, rainbow, whatever print of hey, I am self-sustaining, or at least, I could survive on very less amount of food. I project myself into matter, and it works through alchemy. It works through different stages in my spacesuit, which is called my body avatar. So the more dense, the more dry, the more fluid, the more wet, the more the whatever you might ingest has an effect on the donut mirror. So that's why I say, how do you play your game? That's the quest. Well, at least I like to listen to vinyls. I like to cook myself coffee an original way. I mean, machines are also great. See, this is why, it's also about balance between machines and humans. Because what we choose is the future. Now, we could also say, we go without phones. We just stay in nature. But actually, every technology is part of nature. It comes out of nature. Now, because if we would see it from a shaman's eye, everything is nature. Even if it would be the most deadliest machine, still it's nature. So, maybe I am already somewhere else, wearing a helmet, projecting that thing into me here. So, what can I tell you? I can tell you to endure things. Because I see, in my surroundings, I see if people are actually I see if people are the same thing out of a different perception. So, they are the same energy wearing a different spacesuit. Now, if we wake up to that fact, what occurs with, for example, social scoring, different vibes and vibrations, and how they affect basically the image that we perceive. What kind of color do you choose? See, you could be like, hey, like maybe kinetic yoga connects you to light magic. Maybe it does not, I don't know. Maybe martial arts connects you to red. Maybe some different cultures connect you to different colors. And maybe they're damn powerful. And see, this is why I say, you have a spacesuit which is called your body. And the more you basically understand it, the more you free up yourself from the illusion, which is right here, right now. So I can never say that there is somebody else, although I love you. just stabilize the matrix, you know, free up humans, free up the ancestors, free up and give security. You know, just be and observe yourself in the reflections. And have tolerance, you know. If you have tolerance, you know what basically happens. Yeah, so just observe how you play the game. You know. And listen to your mirrors. Listen to your soul, spirit, guides, ghosts. And have trust, you know. And somewhere else where I'm sleeping, you know, high up there, people are observing what I do. Because I feel these things when you, like, give me another idea. You like, you tickle me here, you do this with a feather. You put a certain, I don't know, thing in here. It sounds weird, right? It sounds weird. But I feel these things, you know, because that's why I would say I'm somewhere else in the crypto sleep. It's funny to me because I literally feel it directly if somebody says it. So this is why I would certainly think I'm actually either way in a tank somewhere else, or I don't know, I'm sleeping somewhere else. But it's weird, right? It's weird if I would say that. Why are you so transparent, yeah? But hey, you know, I like this ride, this journey here. Yeah, so that's why I say, you know, I bring balance to the things that happened in the past with the ancestors. I bring even balance to the things that happened between parents. I bring balance to the future generations, and I bring balance to what occurs right here, right now. How do I do it? Now, if you would know that your body is basically the vessel, the spacesuit, and your body is your universe. Now, if you would cultivate, or if you would all cultivate, if you would subconsciously and consciously understand certain things, you would figure out that what I just said, alchemy, different mind practices, different movements, different meditations would connect you to things that are happening in the realm, in the room, in the world, which are happening in your world. Because if you would, for example, do maybe, I don't know, a certain type of posture over and over again, you would identify with it. Now, if you could switch between different postures, you would understand that postures are your destiny. Now, the postures that you basically get into are connected to different characters that you play. They are connected to different alchemically outputs from your chakric glands. When was the last time you said chakric glands? See? Now this would get us to the same thing over and over again. We need these frames, these rules and regulations, because basically everything is the same thing. And it's what, you know, if esoterics would get you to that path where you would realize that basically everything is one or zero. It's a whole. Now, this is why we need this framework to operate in here, to do things, right? Without this framework, we would be like, well, I mean, there's nothing to do. That's true. True. But it also becomes pretty much boring and stupid. See, this is why life is a show. And I'm interested in how I play it, but I'm also interested in how you play it. And I actually freaking love jazz music and coffee. It's a very kick-starting the day. I'm back in the game, yo. Yeah, so I just do some, relaxing alchemy in the kitchen. I do some maybe kinetic yoga postures, some book reads, and I enjoy it in school, I enjoy it to talk actually with students. When I was, why did, you might ask, why are you doing all these videos? Now, I'm seeding knowledge. That's what I do. Because I was at so much different levels, and you know what's funny? Master teacher dropping jewels. Bobby Hammond says that. So, now, let me drop a jewel for you. Nothing in history ever existed if you can decode that. So even the whole thing with the Santa Claus and Holocaust, it's a hologram in your Instagram. So if you would basically understand your body and if you can sweat things out, so you would get to the jewel, which is basically in your head. Now this sounds very much rude maybe, but that's why I tell you, let me drop another jewel. You basically are walking through a wormhole. You're walking through space and time, and through alchemy, you guide your journey. Because I decoded that for you. Density and buoyancy. Oh, I flipped it. Density and buoyancy. Because now I was going to Mars. People are dead over there. People don't exist. They could not breathe at that altitude. They could not breathe. Now I get freaking goosebumps. I know. They could not breathe. They had to wear a mask because it's way too much pressure. You didn't handle a specific type of training which would get you to that realm. So I was there. I was seeing what's going on over there. I'm like, you've seen the movie Dune. You're walking through the desert. Well, all you Christians out there, have you ever walked through a desert for 40 days and you were only drinking piss? Well, that's what Jesus would do. But you call yourself a Christian. You call yourself a Christian. Now, I didn't walk through a desert, but actually I was walking through a dead realm. Because it's a perception of your own spacesuit that you project yourself into matter, and that happens everywhere. So your field is freaking huge. It's fed. So if you take care about what you ingest, if you take care about that, if you can flip from the 42 laws of Ma'at back from the Horus realm to the 24 hours realm, you would know that basically you are, how's this bird called? Wanderfalke. You connect the subconscious realm to the conscious. That's what you do. And that's why I tell you, you basically walk through space and time, see your own reflections in there. If you would know how it all would work with alchemy, if you would know that you basically survive on urine and even less amounts of food, and you would maybe become even more intelligent with it.
A lot of things that we do in this game settings and gameplays are pretty much unnecessary, because if we would focus on different things, it will become a lot easier. A lot easier. So, I don't know, you'd be like, oh, social scoring might control us. It would be like, we don't have freedom. We have to do certain things which I don't want to do. I mean, like, maybe it does that. Maybe it gives us more freedom. Well, see, that's a freaking problem with humans. A, humans are easily controlled. And B, humans don't really know what to do with their time. They don't know. They have no... You see, this is why in the ancient domes, heads in the ancient churches, temples, you were not freaking allowed to talk for years. Why? Because you would cultivate your voice. I mean, like, maybe you would get to, you could walk side by side when you would have cultivated a guardian of the light from Judge Duke. To then know that, oh, where do I have it? Ah, here. You have cultivated a golden voice. Right? And you would cultivate a golden voice when you would walk through the desert. You would finally see substantia nigra. You like NS? You want to know what, like, if we would decode that in this hologram, it's your central nervous system. See? And this is why I know. It's all just different bodily parts that project into matter. But it's fun to me, we could switch upon that and we could like hang out with different spirits. And that's cool. That's very, very, very cool. So, all you beautiful people who are listening to that, I hope you really enjoyed this little exploration into another jewel that we were dropping here. Do what makes you feel good. Inspire others if you can't do that. Get into a practice which does good. Does good for you and does good for everybody else. Because if you would change yourself, you would change the freaking world. I love you. Mwah. Jazz music and coffee. I love you. Stay fresh. Stay clean. Truthfulness.